Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the 1991 Challenge Day 4. 4 days in a row. That is a personal record for me. I'm super, super excited. Right. A few caveats to today's stream. I'm washing clothes. Apologies if you can hear that. It's half term and my kids are in the house. It is not bedtime where I am, unfortunately. So they're going to be running across probably. You'll hear them in the background, most likely. Call it a writing session in the life of writing with kids, if that helps very much at all. Today I'm going to be working on chapter Diner Interlude, which I picked yesterday from my lovely box with all of my work in it. I do also need to finish my mission interlude, which I started, I think, day 1, day 2, and I'm almost done. I haven't quite finished. So I want to see if I can get around to also finishing that today as well. And, let's see. Let's do, and if I can do my math correctly, let me do a 10-minute sprint to start. I know it's early morning for some people out there, so we're going to start with a 10-minute sprint as a warm-up. Get some breakfast, get some tea, get your stuff ready. I want to try and finish Mission Interlude in this 10 minutes, and then I'll break up the remaining 80 minutes into possibly 2 40-minute sprints. We'll see how I feel. So we're going to get right into it, because I also haven't eaten today. In 3, 2, 1, and let's start. Okay, that is the end of the first sprint. I have sort of managed to finish Mission Interlude. The highlights are basically things which I don't feel... It's the first draft, so they're fine. But it's immediately when I come back to this scene, these are a couple of things I want to focus on. I don't like how the scene begins. And I don't sort of like this... Well, I think there needs to be a little more down here in regards to the character's inner thoughts regarding the situation. And it doesn't bridge properly into the beginning of the dialogue below. I also need... Oh, that's why... Oh, I just remembered something. When I first started writing this, I noted that it felt weird, the bridge between those two paragraphs. I did say at the time, it's because I haven't mentioned the other people in the room, and the dialogue starts with the other person in the room. We don't know they're there yet. So I have not quite finished to mention that Astoria is also there, and then that should help flow better into that. I can do that at the beginning of the next sprint, and then we can get into the diner interlude. I don't quite know if interlude is the right word that I'm wanting to use. What's the definition of interlude? Basically, the way that I'm doing this story, stupidly, I don't like that I came up with this idea, but once I come up with an idea, my brain clings to it and I must continue doing it. It was initially going to be multi-POV, so all of the 7 main characters, because I have 7 main characters, we're all going to have different POVs throughout the book, with the main focus on the protagonist. And then as everything and all of the different storylines sort of get closer and closer together towards the end of the book to culminate in the climax, we were going to see more and more of the other POVs as stuff happens everywhere that the audience needs to know that link together to form the end of the book. I was looking at the word interlude. I then decided against that, and I decided that I wanted to do just the one POV. But I also wanted the POVs of other people to... Are we okay? Sounds like stuff is falling, and that's never a good thing. What was I saying? I wanted to still include the POVs of the other characters and their points of view of certain situations, because my plan is to throw sort of not red herrings around, but say, guys, calm down, please. Say, so Dinah's our main character, and something happens, and Dinah will see Astoria and Oggy doing something suspicious. So, for example, that doesn't happen. But for example, because they're the characters I'm currently writing, obviously then is Dinah in her protagonist way suspicious about them, which makes the... Are you okay? Okay. Oh, good. You go sit down and you eat your piece of ham. And obviously the Navidas are suspicious of Oggy and Astoria. And then later on in the novel, we will flash back to that point, to that moment, but in Astoria's point of view, for example, and we will see their side of what happened. We'll see what happened. Can you not stand in the camera, please? Thank you very much. We'll see what happened before Dinah saw them. We'll see what they were doing. We'll learn a new piece of information, which will inform the reader of something that maybe Dinah doesn't know, or give some clarification to something that has happened, while also working on the characters, character arcs of the other characters outside of Dinah's point of view. So that's what the interludes are. They are, and I have no idea where any of these interludes are going to go in the novel. It depends on what specifically I put into them. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 interludes to interspace throughout. I think mostly I want them in Act 2, maybe 1 or 2 in Act 3. So I don't know where they're going to go. I don't know what information they are going to help the reader learn or the reader understand. I'm probably just going to have to write absolutely everything first and then decide the best place to put the interludes. But that's basically what it is. So you'll be reading the story chronologically, and then sometime we'll flash back to the past to see a different point of view. I don't like that my brain came up with that idea. And if I pull it off, I think it'll be a really, really cool idea to pull off. You know, it's sort of like in TV land where you can focus on 100 different characters, and this scene is theirs and that scene is theirs. But if you write it as a book, you know, one scene's going to be like 2 pages long and another scene's going to be like 25 pages long, which isn't necessarily bad, but it would jump around too much in a book rather than visually on the camera, on screen. So I think that's just my way of sort of doing something like that, I guess. Either way, my brain and the things it comes up with. Oh, and we are almost at the end of the timer. I set a timer specifically so I don't chat too much in between sprints. Otherwise, I will chat forever. The British ramble is real with me, especially if I am currently on my meds. I talk a lot more. I'm going to pause there. Interlude. An intervening period of time and interval. Okay, so technically interlude does work. That's great. I sort of then knew what that meant. We are going to go into a 40-minute sprint now. Words. It sounds complicated, but less complicated than 7 POV. Exactly my point, Lynn. Hello, how are you doing? Exactly my point. Tough to pull off, but I'm going to just pause that because I'm going to change that to a different time. But less complicated than writing 7 POVs and keeping track of all of them at the same time. Although I do still have to keep track of everything at the same time, I just can't share everything. So we're going to go into our 40-minute sprint. I am going to move on to Diner Interlude now, which luckily I started writing a bit of this in Scrivener as well, so I do have something to... where did I put it? Oh, it's already in there. Oh, never mind. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. If we are ready to begin the second sprint, we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And that moves over there. Okay, that is the end of the 40-minute sprint. How did everybody do? What did we get done? I did okay. I'm finding this chapter a lot easier than chapter 1 that I did yesterday. I feel I have a clear path through the beginning of the chapter through to the end of the chapter. I write really weirdly. I don't write in chronological order in the chapters themselves. I will write something that I want up here, and then something else will occur to me that needs to happen further down, and then I go back up and write something else that I need in between the two, and everything is just then pieced together, and I just fill in the gaps. So I've got things like a little bit of a conversation that needs to happen here, a little bit more of a conversation that needs to happen down here, something I need to put in there, but I don't know quite what it is yet. I just write weirdly sometimes. I don't know why I do it this way. It's just my brain is leaping all over the place with, oh, and I need to put this, oh, and I should do that, oh, and I should also do that. And then it pieces together afterwards. Don't need a 13-minute.
Mummy, Emily's climbing on what hit my toes.
Emily is climbing on what hit your toes.
Yeah. She made me climb on.
She made you climb onto it.
Yes, and I hit my nose.
And you hit your nose.
And I hit Emily's uniform box.
And you hit her uniform box.
Yes.
So do you think that maybe she doesn't make you do the thing and you just tell her no?
I forgot to say.
You forgot to say no?
Yeah. Where's that broken?
Because it's broken.
Wait. Why are all the bubbles in there?
Because I'm using this box that the bubbles were in.
Why?
Because I am. Can I go back to talking that I'm now talking to people, yeah? Yeah?
I don't want to. What?
Because you want to what?
I don't want to.
Okay.
I just want to. Oh, my scooter!
Okay.
Well, go on your face.
Okay. So this is what writing with kids is like. Day got 688, approaching a wedding while my MC finally realised the female FMC actually likes him and he's liked her for a while, and romance shall ensue. Yes, absolutely. You're not going to be able to draw on anything with a pencil. Thank you very much. Keita's been reading a lot for her essay. She is having a day. She's getting impatient because after I'm done here, I'm going to take her outside to practice on her scooter. You cannot go outside on your own next to a road and practice on the scooter. If you wait patiently, and I will take you out when I am finished.
For how long?
2 o'clock.
Okay. I'm
sorry.
I'm staying with you.
You can stay with me or you like, that's fine. So everything that I need to put into the chapter is sort of there, and now I do just need to fill in the gaps as much as I possibly can in order to then complete the chapter. I don't know quite what information I need to put into this chapter as it is an interlude. There needs to be something in it that the reader needs to know in regards to the mystery, or it needs to answer a question that the readers will have based on something we have already experienced from Dinah's point of view. And while I do want this interlude in here, I'm not quite sure what that piece of information is going to be. Perhaps it is more insight into Dinah herself. Perhaps it is more insight into Astoria. I'm going to have to move the suitcase that I put in their room, which is causing all the issues. Perhaps it is something within the scene itself. Perhaps it is one of the conversations that the character who in Astoria is having with the other person that she's talking to. Maybe it may have some piece of information that is going to answer a question that the reader has. But because I don't know where in the story this interlude is going to go, I don't know what information the readers will already know, and I don't know what information the readers will need to know. So it might have to be that once the entire story is written and I'm trying to place the interludes in the correct place, I can figure out where I want it to go and then add the necessary piece of information into it at a later date. I might also have to do it that way, which isn't that much of an issue, to be fair. Actually, glad you get me going when I have to start writing my essay. Yes, you've got a post-it note system of information that needs to be added. Mostly, yes. I have a lot of notes and somewhere, and I don't know if that's on a piece of paper or on one of the many Google documents I have in regards to this story and its plot. I have a list of things that the main character needs to find out. I have a list of things that the other characters are doing at certain points that the main character will come across and find suspicious. So I have things like that. I just don't know where I'm inputting all of this information in other chapters, not just the chapter its main chapter it's supposed to go in. If what I just said makes sense whatsoever. I don't know if it does. I don't know if I ever make sense, to be fair. So I have bits and pieces. I know the main events and where the main events go. And then I have scattered bits of information which I need to put in, but I don't know which scenes I'm going to put them in yet. That I have not outlined detailed enough. There's still some missing that I haven't put into place. But this whole 1991 is not me just writing the novel, it is me doing all of the outlining as well. So maybe on another day we can sit down, or I can sit down at least, and make sure all of the pieces of information have been noted down in the specific chapters I want them in. She sees this and this will answer this question, or she sees this and this will make the readers ask this question, which we can then answer further on. I'll figure it all out at some point, hopefully. The scattering of note systems, I know this system well. Look, I tried, okay? I had one Google Doc specifically for me free writing any information I wanted for Bird Whistle House. And then I had my Scrivener file, which I was going to write. And then I started a second Google Doc, which was specifically going to be the Save the Cat outline plot for Bird Whistle House, which then somehow ended up with extra plot and character bits at the end of that as well. I have paper, I have note paper, I have Scrivener, which has now got notes in it also. And then I created another Google Doc. For some reason, to put more plot stuff in. And then another Google Doc that is sort of like Excel with a little graph to show what each character is doing at certain points throughout the novel, so I can sort of correlate with what these characters have experienced and seen and done and know compared to what the main character knows. And everything is everywhere, and I don't know specifically where certain pieces of information are in order to find them, and they're probably multiplied, and I've got 3 pieces of the same information in 3 different places. I don't know. I will need to organize it at some point if it causes me too much of an issue. I just can't write in one place. It's so bad. Good morning, Kate. How are you? Good time zone. Good time zones. I hate time zones so much. Right, we are going to... I'm getting better with the banners. I changed it beforehand this time, although I didn't do it for the first sprint. I changed it though, it's fine. We are going to head into our third and final sprint of the day, 40-minute sprint. Do I expect to finish this interlude in that time? No, but hopefully that's not even the right one. It's this one here. But hopefully we'll get a good chunk of the work done. And that's 90 minutes for day 4 already started. So if we have our pencil on my desk now, thanks Holly. If we have our work, we have our stuff, we're going to start the sprint in 3, 2, 1, begin. And that moves over there. Okay, that is the end of the sprint. And I knew that was coming as well, and I did not see it. I'm going to get rid of and stop the timer because, again, I accidentally left it running yesterday and it recorded writing that I had not done.
What's the time?
How did everybody get done?
The time is 1:51 p.m.
What? Stop.
She's so impatient. That's Scrivener. I don't need Scrivener. We got a few more words done. I have written about. Let me highlight this carefully. I have written. Oh no, I can't for some reason. Scrivener is up. My technology does not like doing what I want it to do. I've written a certain amount of words today. Now I can figure it out. And I've done most of the chapter. 1,138 words I have written in this 90 minutes. This is actually quite a long chapter. I didn't expect it to be this long. I've got a few places I need to link together. I have a conversation, which I'm not sure what is going to happen in that conversation, but some sort of conversation needs to happen between Astoria and another character. I found, I'm not going to say it's a plot hole because I don't think it's a plot hole, but something which I'm not sure works now that I have changed the story. Originally, Birdwhistle House was a normal school with a slight element of magic. Now it is a lot more fantasy than that, and it is set in a magical world, or our world, but magic is known. And Dinah has a drama teacher. And now I'm thinking, if this is a school that's meant to be for learning and teaching magic, despite the fact that specific magic doesn't exist anymore, it's more kept for historical reasons, would they have mundane subjects such as math and English and science and drama? Or would this magic school 100% be focused on just magic, despite the fact that it doesn't exist for them anymore? And is it going to be the same with the other schools for the different other elements of magic? Are they going to teach magic and then mundane subjects? Because it's like our world, but we just happen to have magic. Something I need to think about if that's the route I want to go. I can do it either or way. To be fair, it's not like a massive issue, but it is something that just popped up as I was writing that, and I was like, oh, actually, how does the world building work with, let me make a note of that actually. What subjects do they teach in the schools? Just magic or also mundane? And that's something I can try and figure out for myself. Or I can see what I feel works best, to be fair. Kita is going deep down the social constructionism route for the essay. Love it. Are you learning lots? Are you enjoying it? You'll have to talk to me about it tomorrow when we meet up. Clara, hello, how are you? Too early for my brain to make words. Completely understandable. Yes, absolutely. You can watch the replay later. It is in the playlist if you need to go back and watch it. Kate managed to complete the scene that got her stuck yesterday. Well done. I love it when scenes become unstuck. Some good stuff. They use that spin to get ready for the day. Fantastic. I've always wondered about that, to be fair. I think drama you could put into the arts, and I think that's fair to have, whether magical or otherwise. Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's not a massive issue. Like I could do it either which way I wanted to, really. It's just if I did go about it the magic way, that is extra work I would have to do. Do I want to do the extra work? Or Can I just leave it as is? But yeah, something for me to ruminate over which way I want to do it. But luckily, it doesn't quite affect how the story is going to go, so it's not necessary for me to figure it out. Love the clicky keyboard. I do love my clicky keyboard. It is my new keyboard. Can I lift it and show?
What?
It
No!
looks like a little
Don't ask me any questions anymore.
typewriter. That's the word I wanted to use. It is super clicky. I haven't been able to just have it be clicky during the streams because usually there have been other people in the house while I've been streaming these past few days. I'm waiting for next week where I get a day without anybody else in the house while I write, and then I can have everything unmuted and just have the clicky of the keyboard as little ASMR in the background as I do everything. Waiting for the day. Keep enjoying it, getting theories to the thoughts I've had for years. Fantastic. Yes, thank you. I love it. It's my new favorite thing, which is fun. Right, so I've done some good work. We've done a good 90 minutes. Hopefully tomorrow. See, this is where I really want to continue writing now. But I can't for this project because that is my 90 minutes done and dusted. And I think that's been the hardest thing about this challenge so far. Fair enough, I've only done 4 days of it. Is the fact that every time I've come to the end of the 90 minutes, I've wanted to continue writing because I've been having fun writing it. But I'm not allowed to. So now I have to wait until the next day in order to do some more writing. It's fine. I have other stuff I can write if I want to continue doing some writing. I can't do that right now. I have to take some children out on their scooter. She's not even listening to me now. So that is me done for the day. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this 90 minutes of day 4. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, 12 p.m. 12 p.m. GMT, which is 7 a.m. EST, for yet another 90 minutes worth of work. Hopefully cutting yourself off from writing does let you keep going on the other days. Hopefully, if I can continue to be excited when I'm done, hopefully that will continue and push me to the next day and so on and so forth, instead of getting burnt out on one day writing too much. I didn't actually think of it that way. I'll keep that in mind and I'll let you know how it goes. Thank you guys for joining me and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.